Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is an afternoon update. Hey, folks, what's going on? So, unfortunately, I was not able to do the morning update today. Carrie and I have a dog who was 16 years old, and she's been having some trouble for the past few weeks, and we have been, trying to decide when the time was right to bring her in so she could start the next part of her journey, I guess you would say. And today happened to be that day. So this morning I spent the last few hours I had with her, hanging out, letting her have some ice cream, gave her a feast, some hamburgers, the whole thing. So it was a pretty emotional morning for myself and for Carrie. So I wasn't really in the proper place to hop on and speak with you until just right now. And even now, I'm still really sad about the situation. And the one thing I take solace in is the fact that she was, 16 years old. She lived a good life. And that's all you can really ask for out of a pet, right? Out of a companion is that many years. And that dog was a trooper. She stuck around for a long time. When Carrie was diagnosed with cancer, I was really worried even then that, she was old then, that the dog would have to be put down or she would pass away while Carrie was going through her treatment. And thankfully, this dog troopered along all the way through all that time when Carrie had treatment to all the way through the holidays to just right now. And it's tough knowing that I have to leave tomorrow morning for Santa Fe, and I couldn't, in good conscience, I wasn't going to be able to leave the dog unattended, right? And so I'm just glad that it didn't happen while I was out of town, right? And I was able to deal with it. And things just work in mysterious ways sometimes. The cosmic universe, or whatever you want to call it, sometimes just comes together and things are, I don't want to say fall into place, because it's really a horrible, sad situation for us. But at least I was here to help her deal with it, and it wasn't while I was away. So anyway, I just wanted to let you folks know why I wasn't around this morning. And we're going to get down to business as usual here. And I'm going to focus my big fat yap for a few minutes on this article. And we'll get prepared for the trip to Santa Fe. We all know I'm headed out tomorrow morning. I'll be in Santa Fe for a few days. I have some different stops I'm going to be making, different places I'm going to be popping in. And I'm really, really excited to get started. Would I prefer to not go with such a heavy heart? Of course, it would be, it would be nice if the world was perfect, but it's not. And sometimes we're thrown obstacles, and it's just life. It's just real life. So unfortunately for me, I have to try and compartmentalize right now and push that to the side and get down to business. So that's what we're doing here. The trip to Santa Fe, I'm going to be laser focused, and I'm ready to go, folks. I am ready to go, and I'm ready to see what we're going to see. So the article I have today, though, is from the Inverness Courier. It's a Scottish newspaper, and the headline is Prince Andrew's Portrait Removed from Inverness Townhouse by Alasdair Fraser. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, Alasdair, if I'm not. It's Alasdair. Sounds like Alasdair to me, but if not, I'm sorry about pronouncing your name wrong, my friend. All right, on to the article. A portrait of Prince Andrew has been removed from display inside Inverness Townhouse after the furor over the royals' links with a child sex convict. Good. This man should have no sort of pictures on walls, no memorialization of him or what he's, the fact that he's part of the royal family. If that's his only accomplishment, well, great. Happy for you that you were born that way. But you haven't accomplished anything in your life besides, bringing great discredit to your family and to your name. You are an absolute clown, and I am happy that they're taking your picture down. Way to go, Scotland. Councillor Ron McWilliam wrote to Provost Helen Carmichael late last year asking for the framed photograph to be removed. The request followed public outcry over a BBC television interview with the Earl of Inverness in November, in which he was questioned over his friendship with the late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, look, long-ranging effects for the Prince of Punk Asses. It's not good enough that he just has to step back, right? All of these titles have to be stripped. Everything needs to be taken away from him. He needs to be put on the very, 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 very back row of life. He should not be welcomed in any part of civilized life. That's how heinous this man's crimes were. That's how destructive this man's relationships were. How dare he act as a conduit for people like Epstein, for people like Nygaard? How dare he? Highland Council also declined to fly the Union Jack on its buildings during Prince Andrew, the Prince of Punk Asses, 60th birthday celebrations earlier this month. So they have a pattern here, obviously, up in Scotland at Inverness, that they're not going to legitimize Prince Andrew, the Prince of Punk Asses. They're not going to give him any sort of publicity at this point or any special favor, considering what he is, accused of. They've decided that they're not playing that game. If the Royals want to continue to do that, then that's on them. But the people up here, the Highland Council has declined to do all of this. I cannot pronounce this name. CLLR McWilliam, reiterating his call to have HRH Prince Andrew, the Prince of Punk Asses, stripped of his Inverness title, said, a number of organizations globally have taken moves to firmly distance themselves from Prince Andrew, the Prince of Punk Asses. The fact he holds the title of the Earl of Inverness made it imperative that the Inverness Council administration took a view. And I think that's correct, right? He's representing them. He's a representation of the Council of Inverness. So it's right for this council to step forward and say, look, we don't want to be associated with this. You might be the count, you might be the duke, whatever it may be, but you're not going to represent us. I'm glad they've removed the portrait, but they should really provide a position statement as to why it has been removed. There are a number of unanswered questions about Prince Andrew's association with the convicted child attacker Jeffrey Epstein. There remain serious question marks over his character, so it would be my wish that he was stripped of any association with the city of Inverness. Wow. That's a very bold statement. And look, let me tell you what, we need more people like this guy, like Mr. McWilliam here. We need more people that are going to come forward and be very blunt about the situation. There's no time to tap dance around things right now. It's not thin ice. If you're taking a stand against the Prince of Punk Asses at this point, you have the moral high ground, folks. And the full court press must continue. And the fact that Mr. McWilliam is ready to call him out like this, hey, I dig it. Good for him. The black and white portrait, which took pride of place above a fireplace in the members' lounge in the Townhouse for many years, is now in storage, just like the Prince of Punk Asses should be, in storage. A Highland Council spokesperson said a request was received from a number of City of Inverness councillors to consider the removal of the picture of the Earl of Inverness from the members' lounge located within the Townhouse. As the location of pictures and memorabilia within the Townhouse is a matter for city members, after appropriate consultation, the provost agreed to the request. The picture of the HRH, His Royal Highness, the Earl of Inverness, was moved out of the members' lounge before Christmas. That's awesome. I'm glad to see that the people of this city are taking note. The people of this city don't want their name associated with this guy. Now, they might not be able to take his title away as, the Earl of Inverness, right? They can't take that title away, I guess. But what they can do is make him a nothing in the public eye. Make sure that his face isn't anywhere. Anything that memorializes him is not anywhere. Make sure they don't fly the Union Jack. All of it. And once enough people get on board with something like this, once enough momentum is built, folks, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit. These people have no chance. They have no chance when it comes to the wave of fury that's going to break over them. There are no other items of memorabilia relevant to this request. Careful consideration will be given to finding a suitable location for the picture in the future. Yeah, I got the perfect location. How about the trash? Pretty simple, right in the garbage where Andrew, the Prince of Punk Asses, belongs. This guy is an absolute clown, folks, and I am more convinced than ever, especially considering the new developments with Scully coming forward, the person talking to Denise George telling her that he saw Andrew groping women in the Virgin Islands. Look, there is too much evidence for anyone to ignore at this point. Andrew must come forward either on his own will, or he must be compelled to do so. Anything less is a slap in the face to not only the survivors, and of course it's the biggest slap in the face to them, but it is a slap in the face to civilized society as a whole, and I mean every continent on the planet Earth. There is nowhere where it should be okay for people to traffic women and children and not have to pay the piper. But guess what? This year, 2020, we already have our first scalp now. Harvey Weinstein's about to do some serious time, folks. He's going to go exactly where he belongs, in a dark 8x10 cell. And I hope that he has a prison cellmate like Tartaglione. The rest of these guys better take note. Just take a look at the people who have stepped back so far. Dubin, Wexner, Joy Ito, etc., etc. All of these powerful people are on the run, and that's because of the outcry by everyone out there who's listening to this podcast and all the other content creators that are doing such great work. I mean, there's so many people doing fantastic work on this case that it's not even, I couldn't even name them all. There's just that many people that are doing a great job covering this case and doing the hard work that the legacy media should be doing. And people are doing it at great cost to themselves, be it financially or time or whatever, and just for the simple fact that they are absolutely, positively fed up with the lies and the deceit. So it gives me great pleasure to see Harvey Weinstein get taken down here, folks. And I believe, like I've said from the very beginning of this year, I believe that it's just the beginning. It is just the beginning. The dominoes are starting to fall, and the Prince of Punk Asses looks like the most high-profile person to get caught up in this so far, who is truly on the brink of catching a subpoena. And I truly believe that he is going to be subpoenaed if he does not come forward. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how that prognostication turns out in the future, but I really at this point believe that there is too much there for prosecutors in either country, America or England, to not take note and to not be forced to, at the very least, subpoena this man and get him under oath. All right, folks, so tomorrow morning, I'm going to try and get the morning update in before I go to the airport, but I have to be at the airport at like 5 a.m. So if I don't get the morning update out before I take off, I'll get an update out as soon as I get into Santa Fe and get to my hotel room. I'll get an update out right away, let you guys know what my plan is for the day, what's going on, etc., etc. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this trip, and so have I. Less than 24 hours until Santa Fe, folks. All right, everybody, if you would like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. Also, if you would like to help support the podcast and you enjoy the content and my work, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, everybody, I hope you all enjoy your Monday. I will talk to you later on tomorrow. I'll be back tonight for the Daily Drop. So I will talk to you later on tonight for the Daily Drop. And then tomorrow morning, afternoonish, touch and go right now. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you then.